Welcome back, YouTubers, to a TNA Sacrifice pay-per-view review with us, the dynamic dudes, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Residing from Great Britain, of course, I am Mr. Parker, and this guy sitting next to me, you all know his gimmick. It's none other than, what's up, NJ?
What's up?
What's up, indeed. Subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on TNA Sacrifice down in that comment section below.
I need a haircut. Make sure you contact us and then click what's below.
You know who else needs a haircut? Bobby. Oh no, he already got a haircut, didn't he? Well, my bad. Botch. But there we go. So TNA Sacrifice, we didn't have too high expectations going into it. It seemed like a typical sort of TNA filler pay-per-view, but it kind of surprised us. We'll open up with the opener, I guess, as we do these in chronological order. Samoa Joe and Magnus versus Kaz and Daniels for the TNA Tag Team Championships. First thing I noticed about this match was the crowd was very good for this match, and it was a pretty good match, thanks to the crowd.
The crowd definitely did give us a positive feeling. That's what we expect from the crowd, to give us a feeling about the match. The quality of the match, I think, was pretty good, which you expect from Daniels and obviously the current champions at the time, Samoa Joe and Magnus. And I think, again, it shows great teamwork by both teams, and I was really enjoying the connection between both teams and how it was performed.
I mean, it's two pretty good teams that have been, like, you've had Samoa Joe and Magnus have been with each other for a good 6 months now. Kaz and Daniels have obviously worked together when they're at Fortune and in TNA a lot and stuff. So it was a pretty big surprise, though, that Kaz and Daniels won the tag team straps off Samoa Joe and Magnus. After all that momentum they built, they brought off, you know, in the being tag team champions, Kazarian and Daniels won. That really did surprise me. It did get me thinking, are they going to add the tag belts to this AJ Styles storyline? I'm like, oh.
It was a big question mark with this because the way it went, the thing I was thinking about when the result of this match happened is about machine guns, because with them, they came, disappeared. Yes, one of them got a knee injury, but still that's going to recover, come back, and we're going up towards one of the big pay-per-views, and it looks like they're going to go down a different route now, of course, this and the possible AJ stuff. And the other question I've got is, because of the photographs we had on the Golem show, and suddenly they're going to a tag match, it's kind of taken us away from the possible AJ versus Daniel feud.
Yeah, but thank God that AJ and Daniels probably won't be having a match at Slammiversary after what happened on this show. It was a good opener for me. Not sure the right guys went over and for the right reasons, but I guess we'll see what they do with it on Impact. Gail Kim versus Brook Tessmacher for the TNA Knockouts Championship. As we've been saying in the preview, it was very nice to see Brook Tessmacher being like a new face in the Knockouts division. I did like that little video package they had of like old Brook Tessmacher, the model, and the new Brook Tessmacher, who now takes wrestling very seriously. I did think that video package did a lot, because they have been booking Brook Tessmacher very strong on the TV show against Gail Kim. So it was a nice video package to help set up this match, the transformation of Brook Tessmacher into a #1 contender.
That's very true. When we look at Tess, we do see a possible knockout going on a single push on her own. But during this match, I did get the feeling of what's going to happen to Tess's tag team partner, because with her, she was someone I could see possibly going for a run with the title. Yeah. Obviously, their concentration has given others a chance, and this match did perform really well, got me entertained in a way, and it built up to a finish that left us feeling that it did not make Tess look weak.
Yeah, and it's nice you've got a nice little pet name for Brook Tessmacher there in Tess. But there we go. I'll call her Brook for the time being. This match, it got about 7 minutes. It was pretty decent knockouts action, in my opinion. It's very refreshing to see someone new in there. It's probably aided that a little bit. It was booked in a way in the sense that Brook could have won, despite, you know, all the builds she's got, but she just couldn't quite win it in the end because Gail had to cheat to win with rope leverage. So was glad to see Gail Kim retain here. Maybe Brook Tessmacher will win further down the line. I think that's the correct way of doing it.
If they're going to bring up other talent into a good way, eventually they should put the belt on someone younger, and that could carry the belt onwards.
Because Brook Tessmacher is one of those only knockouts that hasn't won the title, so it would make sense to give her the title maybe in a Bound for Glory. Who really knows? I'm just wondering how far they're going to go, Brook Tessmacher, after the strength of booking they showed with her on the TV show. And at the pay-per-view too. So overall, a decent knockouts match. Devon versus Robbie versus Robbie T for the TNA TV title. We did not want to watch this match. I just don't understand why Robbie E and Robbie T are still involved with Devon for the TV title. Just don't understand. We really didn't care about this match. Devon got the victory in 5.5 minutes. It was very painful for us to watch.
It was very horrible to watch, but the way that Devon got the win, it's made me think, finally move on now, because Robbie E's going nowhere with Devon, so it's finished now. But the interesting about the match happened at the end, it's not overly interesting, but it got me thinking, like I've been wanting for a while, Robbie T and Robbie E eventually possibly breaking up.
Oh, that's not fair, but yeah, but they kind of teased the turn a little bit, but they didn't really do it. But I really didn't care for this match. I have to be honest, I did not care for this match. Don't give a shit. It got 1.5 stars in my grading system, which you can see in that description box below. A good match on this show. A good match, I would say. Jeff Hardy versus Mr. Anderson. This really had no real purpose. They just kind of went out there and had a match, if you know what I mean. It didn't really have any feud or really any strength feud going into it or any real story to it. It's just kind of one of those matches on a filler pay-per-view to just get them both on there. And this felt like it, didn't it? It really did.
That's true, 'cause it's hard to decide who you want to win. Yes, loads of people behind Jeff Hardy, but Anderson's a guy that's very likeable and obviously gets the crowd going with his Mr. Anderson stuff when he comes down. The match, I was kind of thinking, okay, Jeff Hardy, in my opinion, Jeff Hardy was going to get the win here because Anderson's flying about doing nothing. So I was kind of surprised when it built up to the end.
Yeah, I mean, the match itself was okay. I had really no problems with it. They kicked out of each other's finishers. You had Jeff Hardy doing the mic check. You had Mr. Anderson doing the twist of fate. That was pretty good. So the match itself, I didn't really have too many problems with it. It just didn't really have a purpose, if you know what I mean. Because, especially with the ending was really, it was bad. You basically had, I think it was a massive botch by the referee, but Anderson got the victory, but it looked like Jeff Hardy kicked out. I have a feeling they're doing this to give Anderson a win while trying to protect Hardy. And he just had Anderson and Hardy hug at the end. It was kind of like, well, that was kind of pointless.
It was pointless. I didn't really like how it finished. It made me go, ugh, what the hell is this going to lead to? It's going to lead to one of them turning heel because of this. But at the end, the hugging thing, I was expecting one of them to do a finish on the other. Yeah. Mic check or twist blade, just something up there, but we don't get it. So it's made me think, what we're going to get in the shows leading up to the next pay-per-view. And
it'll be interesting to see what they do with someone with a big star like Jeff Hardy, or even Mr. Anderson going into Slammiversary. So a good match, just didn't really have much purpose. I think I gave it 3 stars, 2 3/4 stars, something like that. JB interviewed Joseph Parks, and he was very much enjoying the pay-per-view, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was definitely being careful what he says to the crowd. You couldn't say the word ass. And he's saying how he's going to be pleasantly watching Austin Aries versus Bully Ray.
Yeah, have you seen my brother? He's this yay high. He's got glasses on. Have you seen my brother around? No? Okay, I'll leave you to do the review then.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely not Daniel Parkin, I'll say that. Crimson issued an open challenge. 1, 2. He basically got the ref to count to 10. And at the last minute, we got... Do you want to say this, NJ? Because I really don't.
The thing, before I want to say who it is, we've seen in the past open challenges, the opponents are pretty stupid, big surprises, wow moments. I was hoping Abyss,
Yeah.
But instead of Abyss, we get someone that's so much better!
Yeah, we've basically got Crimson versus Eric Young in a kind of, why did they even go there? We didn't really need this match, TNA. I mean, I can understand trying to get Crimson on a pay-per-view and trying to get him a win on the way to Slammiversary where he'll probably face Matt Morgan, but, I didn't want to see this. I really didn't.
And Eric Young was booked quite strong against this, which made Crimson look bad, and the time weren't really good in either their favours, so overall, I'm just glad Crimson got the win.
Same here, that's all I can really say about this. But our mood was soon enlightened, because next match we think was match of the night. Bully Ray versus Austin Aries. Now, a couple of things. You had the pre-match interview with Aries and Bully Ray, the video package, the sort of the bully versus small guy, very simple storyline. They built this up to be a very well looked forward to and well anticipated match, didn't they? And I was looking forward to it.
Especially with the way they built up to this, the backstage segments, check out like MySpace or Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Really entertaining. Obviously, I'm a Bully Ray fan, so here and stuff like that. I'm not saying Aries don't do bad. They really warmed this match up. And it led greatly into this match that people were tuning in to see.
You know, when I do my star gradings below, 40% of it is based on storytelling. And I think this match was a big win for storytelling. The one thing you can say about this match, guys, is Bully Ray and Austin Aries, they went out there and told a very good story, which is why I gave this match 4 stars. The whole thing with the Aries got some really bad discoloration in the match when he took that really sick bump on the guardrail. But it seemed to help the story even more, the fact that Bully Ray just kept beating him up, and Austin Aries kept getting back up, and Austin Aries hit the brainbuster on him, and it was a really good match. Small guy versus bully, a very simple and effective storytelling in the match. It was very good to watch.
That's very true. Leading into this match, great storytelling in the match. My favourite spots was the big boot from the top, and then the 3D on his own, and then obviously the brainbuster. Brainbuster, yes, could do it all the way, but obviously don't expect it. But it was a great way to finish. Then he did his submission move, which was slightly botched, but we could look past that because the match was quality and match of the night. And overall, I'm just going to say great match. Yes, I was expecting Bully Ray to win, Aries get the win on the next pay-per-view, but overall, this match of the night, well done, Aries. Let's see what comes next.
Austin Aries gets the victory, which I'm very happy about. Told a very good story. He had a little bit of interference by Joseph Parks, but it didn't really affect the match that much, but it told a good story. Bully Ray got some good heat. Aries was pretty damn over towards the end, so I don't really have any complaints about this. It was a very good match. Definitely match of the night for me, and the most enjoyable match of the night.
It definitely gave us a real positive feeling towards the rest of the show.
Yeah, and after that we had Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. A match which has main evented a lot of TNA pay-per-views, and it's interesting to see this just before the main event. Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles is a match which I do think deserves to be high up on the card. And it's really funny how before this match you're thinking, God, Kurt Angle is filler for this AJ Daniels feud, but that kind of changed towards the end. But these two had a pretty good match. They got 21 minutes, which is more time than I thought they'd get, but they had a pretty good match. Angle and AJ Styles always seem to put on good matches, and this was another good one.
That's very good, because the thing about this match is that there's loads of finishes in it, doing each other's finishes, warming it up, thinking that either could have got the win. Yes, I was thinking maybe this was going to be an AJ win, but the way the match went, it could have gone either way. But thanks to the interference of Daniels and Kazarian, it kind of led the other way.
Yeah, indeed. And the whole thing that they've done here, they had Kazarian and Daniels attack AJ Styles specifically after Angle won the match, that is, because of the interference. And you had Angle after the match seemingly turned face, as you know, he didn't want Kazarian and Daniels getting involved in the match. So I kind of feel now that TNA are going towards Daniels and Kaz versus AJ and Kurt Angle at Slammiversary. And I'll say this. This could be for the Tag Team Championships. This could be for a normal match. But thank God we're not seeing AJ versus Daniels. That's all I can say. I'm very for this because it's not giving us AJ versus Daniels in a singles match. Hopefully that is where they're going with this. It'll be a big tag match.
I would be for it. I'm thinking, but I don't think the titles were needed for this match. I think the way they could have done it would have been just an awesome match just against each other. They could have made a great story into it. But all I can say now is the important thing is on this whole month they got to the next pay-per-view. What can they add to make this match even more worthy of watching? Including the photographs that we had on the Go Home show before the next pay-per-view.
Indeed. So this was a good match. They kicked out of a lot of finishers. Angle even pulled out the Styles Clash and the Moonsault. So you can't really complain. This was a good match between the two. Even though at first we thought it didn't really have that much purpose, towards the end it kind of did going into Slammiversary. And if there's one thing you want a filler pay-per-view to do before Slammiversary, it is try and continue a big storyline going into Slammiversary. So I'll give this match thumbs up. I think I gave it 3 3/4 stars. It was a good match and helped storyline going forward.
Because being the two big wrestlers, you do expect them to put on a great match, and they did. But quite surprisingly, Bully Ray and Aries just beat them with the quality and the storytelling with that.
The quality of the storytelling really does make the match what it is, and I think that was the match of the night. But we go on to our main event of the evening: Bobby Roode versus RVD in a ladder match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And I must admit, going into this, I really didn't like RVD in this TNA World Championship picture, but as soon as they made it a ladder match, then all of a sudden I was thinking, yeah, RVD is good in ladder matches. This should be a good match. And it was a decent main event. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. It was a good main event. I enjoyed watching this match.
Well, with ladder matches, we know that wrestling businesses do pay a lot of attention to ladder matches, the spots they can do. With Rob Van Dam being one of the contenders, you know that he's going to have all his interesting spots and that. And the way the match went, I weren't really a fan of Rob Van Dam being as quickly into the title picture main event that he was, but a big name against Bobby Roode and the spots that he booked. I think Bobby Roode did take a lot of bumps in this match, but it definitely got the crowd going because obviously they're a fan of Rob Van Dam and showed Bobby Roode's strength throughout the match.
I think the only thing this match lacked, in my opinion, was drama. There wasn't really like a dramatic spot, or there wasn't really a dramatic moment when you thought, RVD could win this title. He's got to win the title. And that, to my opinion, did let down this ladder match a tad. I thought it was a good ladder match, but there wasn't very much drama in this match, which I do think you need in a main event ladder match. But I was very happy to see Roode get a good win here, though, over a big name like RVD, going into Slammiversary where he'll probably face James Storm. So it was nice to see Bobby Roode get the win in a good ladder match. I mean, it It didn't get as much time as I thought it was because of the matches beforehand, but it got 15.5 minutes, and it was a decent match. I can't complain too much about this.
I was expecting a few more spots from both, but yeah, Robbie done put Bobby Roode through a lot. But I was expecting a few more spots to give us more wow moments. Maybe made the match gone a bit longer because there's like 15 minutes left for the pay-per-view. But they gave Bobby Roode the victory that we wanted, a clean victory, made him look strong. Got a win that no one can really bash him about, not really, so don't try people. And going up towards next pay-per-view, who knows how they're going to build a new number one contender, which should probably be Storm.
Hopefully it will be James Storm after the storyline they did after lockdown with him. But anyway, what were your overall thoughts on this pay-per-view, MJ? I have a feeling you enjoyed this one.
Well, quite early in the night, I did say I'm going to give it a B-, but as the rest of the night went on, it just kept on getting better and better. Minus those matches that we complained about, but TNA can't always do everything the right way and in the best way possible. Young fuck off. And all I'm going to say, people, is that this was definitely a pay-per-view that you should watch, people. Probably watch it back if you haven't watched it, because it was definitely worth watching. And overall, it's going to get a strong B from me.
Yeah, I mean, this pay-per-view, I didn't have that much expectations going in, but for a TNA filler pay-per-view, I did think this was very good. The opener was good. I enjoyed Anderson versus Hardy, even though it was kind of pointless in my opinion. Bully Ray versus Aries was a fantastic match for this pay-per-view, definitely match of the night. Angle versus AJ had another good wrestling match, which you should expect, and it did continue something onwards to Slammiversary. The main event was pretty solid in my opinion as well. Despite the fact we had some matches in there I really didn't care about, it was still a pretty decent pay-per-view from TNA that I didn't expect too much from, but they delivered something that really whetted my appetite for this pay-per-view. So I will also give it a B, and you'll see by my star ratings below, what I thought the matches and the overall score on this pay-per-view too. So there we go. Make sure you give us your thoughts on this pay-per-view down in that comment section below. I'm sure you guys must have some opinions on this show. But I will hand you over now to, well, yeah, I guess you could say you're my brother, NJ. Give us an outro, brother.
Oh yes, testify! No Hogan, no Sting, but whatever. All I can say, people, is this has been a good pay-per-view, a good review. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. And from Mr. Parkin, and me, NJ, till next time, goodbye.